Towns holding on to Wemby. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there. And it's back to a fight.
Well, there's life in the Spurs yet, and there will be no sweep in the 2026 NBA Finals. Now, can you blame anybody for feeling like this was going to be a sweep? Because that was the way that it was trending, if we're being honest. And that's not to say that the Spurs have been absolutely garbage through the first couple of games of this series. That hasn't been the case. It's just been that the Knicks have come to play, and they have gotten the job done 9 times out of 10 in the final stretch of games. But it was Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox who made sure that that was not the case in Game 3, as Wemby contributed 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals, absolutely filling up the stat sheet, while Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox were making some of the bigger shots of the contest. So it was a collective effort, obviously, to get the job done for San Antonio, but in doing so, they avoid going down the dreaded 3-0. And honestly, after watching New York come into San Antonio on their home floor and just take those 2 wins, steal both road victories, it started to feel like this was just the next year. And by no means am I suggesting that just because they won Game 3 means that they're going to win the series. We still got a whole series left to play. Somebody has to get to 4 wins. I'm not sure who it's going to be. I'm really excited about this matchup, as I have been heading into it, because we've gotten some really wonderful, fiery, very competitive basketball. And from a stylistic standpoint, you're just seeing some really big challenges on both sides of this series. Now, it is worth noting that with the Spurs victory in Game 3, the road team has now won the first 3 games of an NBA Finals series for just the 2nd time in NBA history, with the other being the 1993 NBA Finals, when the Chicago Bulls ended up winning games 1 and 2 in Phoenix before the Suns won Game 3 in Chicago. So a little bit of history being made too, which is right on brand with what we're saying, because Wemby, it just, I don't know, it feels like every other night we're seeing some type of historical thing being attached to Wemby and the Spurs. But the same thing could be said for Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, as they had just absolutely been demolishing their competition on their way to the finals and even into it, right? They had 13-game winning streak, which is absolutely insane when you think about how dominant they have been at this stage. And that's why I felt like, hey, maybe it's just their year. As a Cavaliers fan, I saw many people trying to rationalize this, saying, hey, at least we've lost to the potential finals victor. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make me feel any better at all. It just adds context. But the Spurs, man, they ain't going away, and they will not make this easy, and they still have every bit a chance to win this series. I'm not sure if that's going to end up happening, because they have to put together a collective effort for 4 quarters, and not, there's some inconsistencies going on at times. Wemby is at the core of that. They need more out of Keldon Johnson. You need Fox to continue stepping up. And, by the way, Fox hit one of the biggest shots of the game to seal this one. But to me, like, they got to just be better collectively, because New York is going to continue to put pressure on them. Karl-Anthony Towns had been a huge part of this series to the first 2 games of it, leading many of us to believe that, hey, maybe he's going to end up winning the Finals MVP, and not Jalen Brunson, not Victor Wembanyama. But it was a little bit more of a quiet night for Karl-Anthony Towns in terms of offense. Just 11 points. He did pull down 8 rebounds, but defensively, he continues to be somebody that is way more impactful than he had been in years past. 3 more steals tonight, 2 blocks. But it was more so OG Anunoby, in my opinion. Listen, no disrespect to Jalen Brunson, who had 32 points on 11 of 25. That's probably the sour point for me. It's just the efficiency, or rather, slightly inefficient 44% from the field, but he did get to the line at quite a bit. 7 of 8 from the charity stripe, 3 of 5 from 3-point distance. But to me, it was OG Anunoby who was really the star of the show for the New York Knicks. 28 points for him on 9 of 13 from the field, including 3 of 7 from 3-point distance and 7 of 9 himself from the charity stripe. That was the player I thought that was making the biggest impact for the Knicks, at least in the early going. They need more out of Landry Shamet, who has kind of gone cold after being absolutely on fire through the last series. Shamet was just 1 of 8 from the field, including 1 of 7 from 3-point distance. That's 14.3%. You need more out of him if you are the Knicks. You need more out of Mikal Bridges, just 1 of 5 from the field for 2 points, 2 measly points. That's all he was able able to bring to the equation. Josh Hart, 6-10 from the field, 16 points for him, 9 boards. He continues to be a very impactful contributor on the glass, like he's always been. And then on the Spurs side, like I mentioned, Stephon Castle, 23 points for him on 8 of 14 from the field, contributed 5 more rebounds, 5 assists. Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox, some of the better rebounding guards in the NBA, and it's crazy because they have a gluttony of them, a litany of them. That's insane to me that they have so many good rebounding guards over there. Harper, I think everybody is really excited about the potential of Dylan Harper, but he remains somebody that's going to kind of be hit and miss at times. And obviously being a rookie on this stage, that's to be expected. Just 5 of 18 from the field from him, including 1 of 8 from 3-point distance off the San Antonio bench. But I think big things are going to come from this young man. And if they do end up winning this series, man, that's going to be one hell of a cap to a rookie season for Harper. The role players are also stepping up. Julian Champagnie contributing 12 points, 3 assists on 3 of 7 from 3-point distance, 4 of 9 from the field overall. Devin Vassell, 3 of 4 from the field, 11 points for him. Like, you're getting a collective effort from the San Antonio Spurs. It's not just Wemby, Fox, Castle, Harper. It's not just the guys at the top or the stars, whatever, what have you. It's really been a collective effort from them, which has been nice to see because it just showcases the immense depth that some of these teams, once you get to this point, have. And I know that maybe that sounds like pushing it, considering that it feels at times like an 8-man rotation. But when you look at what Luke Cornett has given them at specific points, when you look at Carter Bryant entering the games at certain points, like, they're really operating from a place of depth. And the same thing can be said from the Knicks, obviously. And I'm envious as a Cavaliers fan. You want to see that be the case more often than not, but I think that these two teams have done a really good job at surrounding their stars with a good supporting cast and guys who kind of shores up some of the flaws on that roster. But I'm going to be really interested to see if San Antonio can win game 4, tie up this series, because like I said before, it's not like they played shitty basketball through the first couple of games of this series. They just had some miscues. I think Wemby's really big mistake in game 2, where he essentially could have just brought the ball to the floor rather than trying to pass to Stephon Castle, hitting him in the back, turning the ball over, and then committing a foul right away. They could have won game 2. They had their chances in game 1. Like, this has been a very competitive series, and I hope it does go 7. I don't really care one way or another who wins, but I just want to see competitive basketball. And so far, that is what we have gotten. You guys let me know who you think is going to end up winning in the comment section below. And as always, stay positive.